Well, it could be that, excuse me, cleaning my glasses, could be that the best evidence regarding the growth of a YouTube channel is enhanced greatly by connecting with your audience by showing your face. Well, I have been showing my face for a couple years, and it doesn't really seem to be helping that much. So today I'm going to buck the trend, go in the opposite direction, and simply refuse to show my face. It could be that, or it could be that my webcam is unplugged and I started this video before I realized I had no webcam plugged in today. You can decide for yourself which is the fact of the matter. But here's what we've got. Let's see here. You know, I really smoked a couple days ago, which is kind of easy to do when you've got dialogue going on. So I'll go ahead and grab this section. So this is 1 minute and 17 seconds, just in the last 2 or 3 days. So yeah, not bad acting there. I guess this is the last shot that I did a YouTube video on. So that was 2 days ago, and unfortunately, a meager 63 views on that video, which is quite sad since you're just going to learn nothing but all kinds of exciting things about animation in KRITA if you watch my videos, and so millions should be watching. Unfortunately, only 63 actually are. So it may indeed be time to change the tenor of the YouTube channel. And frankly, okay, yeah, so this was actually, I was working on this shot and making a video about it, and wound up not posting that video because it was just too much of a long drawn out mess. It ultimately turned out okay though. What was going wrong is the castle didn't look right, and it was until I got some photo reference of the Taj Mahal that I actually thought, okay, that's actually looking more like kind of sort of what we want. So this is kind of the same shot we saw earlier in the show, except of course now Asher is 15 years older, and just did this shot today. And now here's where we're at. We're on this shot. Okay, so this shot is kind of unusual. I'm going to go ahead and flip to the other screen. This is kind of an unusual shot in that there are really 2 shots in one, but I figured what the heck. And since it's my channel, if I say what the heck, I get to what the heck. You know, I've thought about let me see here. Let me get in my groove here. I'm going to go ahead and play this, see what I got here. Okay, yeah. So we've got to get the lip sync in there. What actually happens is, jumping back to the prior shot, Golek says, it's been too long, Asher. It's been too long, Asher. To what do we owe this visit? Now, Golek doesn't really like Asher's visits because they tend to be prophetic condemnations of all the naughty things that the king has been doing, which he's usually doing because of the promptings of Golek. But what Asher says is the following. He says, it's always an honor to stand in the presence of the king. So the idea is that he's, okay, and by the way, am I having a dyslexia moment? Let's find out. He's looking to his right, which would be Golek, and he flips. No, he's looking to his, yeah. I just said right when I meant left. Oh, it's just so bad to be handicapped in this way. Okay, so he's looking to his right, and then he turns to his left. So that is actually correct. So he's directing his attention to Golek, He says it's always an honor to stand in the presence, and then he turns to the king and he says, of the king. So he's basically taking a little jab at the fat guy. Okay, well, what do we have here? Oh, by gum and by golly, we're going to have to come up with a background for this. And the background needs to kind of sort of jibe with the earlier backgrounds. And actually, you guys can't really see this, so I'll switch the screens again. But there was a shot way the heck back here. Way back when Asher made his first prophetic pronouncement. It was this one right here. Yes. Now, in order to make this work, we would actually need, so this is 52, we would actually need two versions of it because we're going from a wide shot to a close-up. So let's see what we've got here. 052. Boom. Okay, well there's the background. Except that Asher's baked into the background. So that means that probably there is a folder called 52. I'm looking on the third screen because I have 3 screens. Yeah. Yep. This is what we want. Boom. And we'll insert that as a new layer. Okay. I'll tell you what, this will actually work quite nicely. Let's take this, we'll put that behind. Well, okay, we can't put it behind the background. But the background's actually not needed anymore. So what we'll do is we'll put a key on that, so Control Insert. And then right here, we will hit the old A key and do a stretchy poo. And I think probably shift it over like that. It's always an honor just to stand in the presence of the king. Okay. Now, the only thing I don't really love here is, I don't know, I kind of don't want his, I don't know, this actually will probably look good. We probably should do that. The thing is, we really need to probably see those pillars. So let's see, how can we do this? If we shrink it, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to really cheat. Let's cheat like the Dickens. The proverbial Dickens. I'm going to grab this and go Control X, Control V. And then I'm going to grab the underlying layer. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to grab the underlying layer and hit the A key, and I'm going to squeeze. Okay, hold on now. We want, nope, that's not what we want. Is it Control? It's Control. We want Control. And I'm going to say we probably want to even shrink that a little bit. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we'll do that to get those pillars in there. And then that can sit over top of it. And frankly, I'm thinking also that a slightly taller door would be kind of nice. I guess we need to bring it down slightly, but yeah, I'm gonna make the door a little taller, and then we'll just paint out the boo-boo. Paint out the boo-boo, yeah, paint out the boo-boo. We're gonna paint out the boo-boo, baby. Paint out the boo-boo. Okay. And we bake it down. Boom. Oh, it feels so good to have a martini on a, what is today? Today is Tuesday, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this loose. And sketchy. Okay, fill that. Boom, 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 boom. All right, grab this. We'll just fill it all in, like so. Then we'll grab this, the brush. Okay. Apparently I'm not capable of actually drawing a straight line. But, you know, like I said, we're just having nothing but fun here, so. And if you're gonna have fun, you might as well make it fun. You know, when it really occurs to you that OMG, we are literally in the midst of a global pandemic. We are in the midst of the most contentious and surrealistic election cycle, certainly in my lifetime. There are so many things. I said Control C, Control V about the times we're living in that are just strange. You know, just weird. So basically, the main problem with KRITA for the kind of stuff I'm doing right now is it becomes a bit of a pain dealing with all the layers. So if you're gonna cut and paste, which if you're doing this kind of sort of construction, you definitely want to be doing some cutting and pasting. So now what I'm going to do is erase out of this, B key, like that. Just chop that out. That looks pretty good. And then I can grab this entire layer, and actually in this case I can just duplicate it. And so what I've been finding is yeah, this pillar here is okay. Didn't really notice that before, so but this pillar here is really kind of in a wacky position. Let's fix that. Okay, so I'm going to go Control C, Control V, hit the A key, and just hope for the best here. Okay, why is it an empty layer? So yeah, if it was up to me, I'll just tell you guys that if it was up to me, I would probably prefer if KRITA could just cut and paste stuff into a single layer the way one might do in, say, GIMP or something. Okay, so there, I moved that pillar, and now obviously this one is in the wrong place. So yeah, it's just like the whole thing becomes a bit of a mess. I don't know if that makes sense, but it becomes a mess in the sense that it becomes unwieldy. Now there is a solution. The solution is if you're going to do sort of photo editing on something like a background, best thing to do is hit Control G and put it in a group. So you can go ahead and just do all kinds of surgery on the layers and do cutting and pasting as you see fit, creating new layers automatically as you go, and then just within the group hit Control E and bake it all down into a single layer. So really this isn't hard, but it's not exactly right either, so I'm actually going to go ahead and take this guy out too. You know, you kind of want something there though, so I'm going to think about that. One thing for sure is let's go ahead and do what I've been doing on a lot of shots, which is just use the venerable technique of vignetting to your advantage. Just like that. Just add a vignette. It really actually, there's a reason people have been doing that for years. Now, the other thing we can do in this case is, let's do this. In this layer, let's grab this. Now I'm going to hit Shift. I'm going to grab all these pillars. And I'm going to do just what I said a minute ago. I'm going to go Control C, Control V. Now I didn't cut them out. I just copied them. So now I'm going to go A. Flip those suckers upside down. And put a reflection in the floor. Now obviously there's a couple things we need to do to really sell this. Number one, let's get rid of that reflection there. Okay, that's okay. This part, I would say, I guess because it's the whole layer's transparent, so that's why making the sampling the semi-transparent color doesn't make any sense. So what I'm seeing here is the following. I mean, think about that. If you're going to have this type of a reflection situation, then the rule would be don't be stupid. Meaning, of course, you've got to reflect the ceiling as well. So therefore, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to take a chance. I may not do this correctly. But, okay, this is above, so I'm going to be bold here. I'm going to bake this down. Boom. They're baked together. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ceiling color and I'm going to paint over this area. But I'm going to paint in darken mode. So that where it's already darker, which I'm trusting, it's not quite. So I'm going to actually pick a little lighter version of that color. Yeah, that's good. Okay, but then turn the opacity way down. That kind of works. And then while we're here, I'm going to do the same thing across the back of this, except that's too big of a change. I guess we could use the airbrush. I didn't really want to, but okay. Hold on. Let's turn the opacity down. So we just want to ease that in. Okay. That's not too bad. That looks somewhat cool-ish. Okay. The only other thing I'm thinking I'm kind of missing here would probably be, I'm feeling like I want a blue tint, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to get crazy with some blue here. Kind of a rich, deep, dark ocean blue. Okay. Don't ask me why. I'm just kind of feeling it, you know. Okay. And let's put that in overlay mode. Yeah. So it just gives a little bit, again, of a tint and some dimensionality. And then, back here, I'm going to grab my airbrush, sorry. Real small, but just a little bit wider than the pillars. Okay. Opacity fairly low, so we're doing black. That feels pretty good. I gotta put a really faint, actually a reflection of the shadow. Okay, so cool. That's probably one of the faster and better backgrounds I've done. So I'm gonna go ahead and commit to it. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. So ready? Boom, gone. Okay, so now what I want to do is, normally if you can sort of hem things in, and by the way, one other thing I'm going to do while I'm thinking about it here. Right. That's too much. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little smaller. I just want to catch some of this distance here. Okay. And I'm going to take my mush brush, my defocus, and just going to kind of fake a slight defocusing. Okay, now let's save our work. Save early, save often. Now what I was going to say, there's Asher. Boy, I put so much work into this, and now I've got to do this too. Okay, let's just kind of do it. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, now I'll take this down smaller. Go. Okay, now we want this color. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that was kind of surprisingly easy. Okay, with the slight caveat that I want to put a little bit of that dimensionality at the floor. Nope, went too far. Let's just hit undo a few times. Okay, I really wanted that to have more of a blue tint anyway. So I'm going to go. Okay, shoot, that last one was too much. There we go, perfect. Well, you know, perfect in my opinion. Okay, that's that. The great room, the great throne room. And now we can finally get busy on Asher. Oh, you know what I was going to say is, what about a couple foreground elements? Okay, so I'm just going to put these in here and reserve the right to take them back out later. B key. So this would be well, actually, it would be kind of Golek's graying hair, the truth be known, is what we'd be seeing here. So with always a bit of gold accoutrements holding his hair together, and in his case, he is graying. So, oh, come on. Whoops. Shoot. Okay, so if we put that in there, the other thing I was thinking was just I don't know if this will work, but I'm gonna put it in here anyway. Just, yeah, that's not gonna work. I was thinking about actually, like, you see his hand, but I don't really want to go to the trouble of I suspect it's not going to work, so I don't want to go to all the trouble to get it drawn in there only to find out it didn't really work. So what I'm going to do is just leave this in here. Let's hit the Control M, default. Let's just kind of feel that. Yep. Okay, so that's just essentially a bit of Golek in the foreground. Okay, and then obviously here, he would not be in this. So that's paint layer 2. So we want to go Control Insert, and then just straight insert. Then we can take this, bake it down. And now all we have to do is give our attention to Asher. So let's put him in a group. Asher. Okay. And we'll call this SK for sketch. I think it's from running Linux the last few days on my laptop. Kind of boning up on Linux. You learn to favor very short names, because when you're doing a lot of stuff on the command line, you discover that there's a lot of typing involved. Okay, so let's do the classic. I don't want to draw outlines. Philosophy. That's cool. And if we're going to do that, then we need to put this in behind mode and just start knocking these babies out like so. Asher's garment is essentially brown, brownish. So let's go ahead and smack in Asher's garment, and then we'll decide how we want to handle the outlines. I think what I'm going to do is just run a cleanup operation on them, see how close they come to, you know, sort of looking good-ish. And if they look good, we'll kind of roll in that direction, although probably not on the close-up, I suspect. If you're going, what the heck are you talking about, man? Ooh, you'll find out soon enough. You'll know soon enough. There's no hurry. There's no worry. There's only the mystery of life. Okay, so let's go with normal mode. Okay, so now we've got him blocked in there. Should we block him in here as well? Well, let's see. Paint layer. So I guess we better call this CLR in true Linux fashion. We give it as short a name as possible. And before we put in this key, we'll go ahead and insert the, or I'm sorry, sample the color. Oh, and guess what? It didn't work. I sampled the color and nothing happened. By gum and by golly, that didn't quite work. Let's go back in this direction. Okay, that's better. Asher's head is definitely has a lot of round components to it. Okay, a little bit of gray. Uh-oh, we're not behind mode. Okay, that'll work. Let's go back here, grab the, what I keep calling a garment. It's a cloak, folks. It's a cloak, right? And a really brown, kind of a sort of sticky thing. It's a bit of a stick. Yes, a stick. You never know when you're going to need a good, strong stick. I'm sipping my martini, with which to strike your friend. And with friends like you, your friend doesn't need enemies. Okay, I'm going to modify this color slightly. Okay, and now I'm just going to keep rocking in the direction that I'm currently moving. Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen, but that's okay. My cost of glitching is relatively low. I only had to draw the roundish shape a second time, so it would appear to me that indeed the world kept on turning while I made that mistake. So that's a relief, and boom, 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 boom. Boom. Just jumping ahead, getting the old flesh tones in there, baby. Getting the old flesh tones in there. Flesh, I tell ya. Flesh! Alright. And boom, 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 boom. And boom, 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 boom. Okay. So Asher's coming together pretty fast here. But of course, we're going to have to deal with the details of the tonality as well as, of course, lip sync. So, yeah, whatever. Let's grab the stick. And it seems to me I kind of moved the stick a bit in the interest of giving this whole thing a little bit of a, you know, the old spark of life kind of thing. Okay, now, it would appear to me, by the way, well, it would appear to me that I forgot his hat, but more importantly, I'm thinking about his, nope, well, I guess that's okay. I'm thinking about his neck, actually. So since we're working just in color, let's just do that. We're just gonna slam it, man. Okay. Now, we actually could cut this into the show. What is this? 155? Let's do 155. Oh, it's already set for 155. So, boom. I'm going to jump up to my editor. Let me see what the editor tells me is going on here. Yeah. Okay. And I'm just, it renders so fast that it's like, well, why not just see how it's going to look? Yep. That's what's happening. That's happening. Okay, so back here, okay, yeah, we definitely had a little bit of a gray, aged look thing happening with his eyebrows. So let's not forget that. Okay, so this is the ink. I'll tell you what, folks, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this could be so much better if I just redid it. So I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to call this ink. And then I'm going to go key. I'm going to go ahead and insert my keys in advance. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and deal with my outlines right now on the color layer just because I can. Okay, so here's how we're going to do that. You guys have seen me do it before. Let's do a blur of 3 pixels. Okay, blur, blur, blur. And then let's do darken this. And on the alpha side, I believe we want to kind of go like that. Something like that. Okay, back, back, back. Okay, so that's pretty good. And what that did for us, and by the way, I'm going to take this and, gosh, can we, I don't want to transparentize it. So I think what I'm going to do is lift it, actually lift the color, and then specifically lift into it a little bit of red. There. Okay, so now we can just kind of hit Control F and repeat that on both of these keys. And then we've got some really nice, pretty delicate outlines happening. So that's very, very good. Now we can go up in our ink layer, and this one needs to be turned way the heck down so it's not sort of clouding things. And then up here we'll go ahead and pick an outline color that's kind of sort of what we are using on the existing outlines. And just by doing those automated outlines, you know, as you can see, it really makes my job easier, because all I have to do is just get these interior outlines happening, and basically that's like pretty easy, right? So that was a little bit sloppy. Okay, so the one thing that you know is a little problematic here, well, two things actually. One would be the shadows where the head really needs to be covering the body. So I may go ahead and cut the head out. In fact, I'm thinking I probably will cut the head out and put it on a separate layer, just so I can kind of make my life easier. Alright. Boom. Boom. Okay. I don't think I need to deal with outlines around his head, so with that, I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to do the lip sync separately. So first, let's get this in here. And we're going to do this very coarsely, because obviously he's extremely small in the frame. And what we want it to be able to be read very easily. Whoops. Okay, that's getting a little too sloppy. Boom. Boom. Okay. Let's pull out to actual size. Golly. I'm almost feeling like... I guess that's actually pretty good. We got to get some shadows in there, though, for sure. So we're going to come back in over top of this with some gray color. That's too much of a hook nose. Not bad. Okay, so this is just a tween. So we can definitely not belabor this too much. We basically just mainly don't want to have any changes in scale or shape that are obvious. Okay. Trying to keep it loose here, folks. Whoops, that's a little too loose. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to grab this color and this brush and just see if I can wing this. Like so. Okay. So now, oh, I need to get shadows in there before I do the animation. I'm going to add a keyframe on his head here. Okay, so what is this going to look like? Man, I wish it wouldn't keep changing the opacity back. Every single little thing. Don't be evil. Don't be evil. Okay, this is in the ink layer. This needs to be in the color layer. You silly goose. Honestly, Okay, that's the lip sync, and that's not even done yet. So let's just get rid of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go E, E. I'm baking it down. Okay, and now we can deal with the shadows quite readily. Once the shadows are in there, we can go ahead and animate. So I'm basically going to hand tool some extra animation here, just to kind of see if I can slam home the look I'm looking for without having to actually cut his head out and put it on a different layer. It might turn out the whole layer thing is necessary, but I'm suspecting not. So we will find out here shortly. Okay, so this is going to be a little more complex. Shadow, shadow, shadow. Shadow, shadow, shadow. Okay. Basically, I like it. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that was actually a glitch right there. Boom, boom. Okay, and so now we're going to go shunk. And there. Actually, strike that. That should, his whole neck there should probably be kind of in the shadow zone. Okay. Boom. 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 Okay, not too shabby. The only thing is I forgot his eyes here. These eyes I'm not even drawing because they're just a tween. Nope. This one I really want to have it follow the contour a little better. Okay. Not too hard. Let's see. Let's go to actual size. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Okay, so just because I'm thinking about it right now, though, I'm going to go ahead and go up across here and kind of, sort of, let's hit the X key and put in this color, and then let's do a gradient, a linear gradient. And what am I looking for here? I'm looking for actually this. I want to go foreground to background. Okay, in this case, I think that's what I want. Oh, don't want alpha lock. Sorry. It wasn't actually what I wanted. I think I wanted that. But let's do an overlay. Okay. Kind of like what's suggested there. The only issue I would say is overall I'm feeling the saturation a bit much. So let's hit the M key and do a curves up on the saturation. And we're basically saying let's take the stuff that's the most saturated and turn it down. And the stuff that's the least saturated, turn it up. See the idea? Actually, I think maybe if I, yeah, probably something like that. And then we're going to have to obviously turn it down a little bit more than we did. Okay. I've been finding more and more that this winds up happening on every single shot, is that I'm just finding that a little bit of judicious vignetting. Okay, we don't want that to be at 12%. A little bit of judicious vignetting is almost always nice for the shot. Okay, and in this case, we'll just kind of, you know, you're putting the focus obviously on where it belongs, which is the main character, like so. So, if it looks good, it is good. File, save. Alright, sip of my martini. And I'm almost actually in shock. 46 seconds, or 46 minutes. So, that means where we're at is we just need to do lip sync. And if we do lip sync properly, which is going to be black freehand path tool, then we will definitely be done with this shot completely. And by the way, KRITA just blew up. So that's very, very bad. But I think I just saved it. I don't know, but I've mentioned this in other videos, but when KRITA dies, lately it's almost always because of just something with layers. You add a layer, you know, whatever. Okay, so this is 155. Ba-doom, ba-doom. File name. Okay, what's going on here? Something's very strange is going on here. A little frazzled here because I was sort of getting stoked about getting this shot done in an hour, and now I'm snapped out of it because I'm making no progress because I'm having to dink around with. Yeah, it seems like it's 155. There it is. Sheesh. Okay. Yeah, so, and that's kind of cool that, yeah. So getting away from it for a moment was kind of a good thing. So I'm going to go like this, and once again name this MOUTH, and then save. Okay? Alright. We're going to grab this tool, and what does he say? I better make sure I'm on the correct screen right now. I am. Okay. So Asher's line is, "It is always an honor." Okay. So he says, "It is always an honor." So let's start out with okay. Insert a key, and again, save early, save often. So I'm going to give him a little more than a half a second. It is actually, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm gonna fudge this. It is all always an honor. Okay, so this needs to come back here. It is always an honor. Okay, so let's go here. Honor. Okay. Insert. Little break. To stand. Oh yeah. In the of the king. Okay, so I'm just matching the tonality of the outlines there. It is always an honor to stand. Okay, it is always an honor to stand in the presence. Okay, little glitch here. In the presence. Okay, there's really one too many here. And those two are awful similar. So what I'm going to do is take these two and just pick them up and move them back here. In presence. Okay. And then this really needs to be the closed mouth. Okay. In presence of the king. Okay, and then this needs to be held out. Of the king. Alright. So he's basically taking a little swipe at Golek here by basically saying it's I don't really care to stand in your presence, Mr. Jerk, but it's an honor to stand in the presence of the king. So it is always an honor to stand in the presence. Ah. In the presence. I get this is definitely this is wacky. Okay, so this should really be I'm just gonna like move this downstream. Yeah, this should be here in the. Come on, baby. We'll give that a try. I'm gonna save my work just in case. In the presence of the king. In the presence of the king. Okay, this happens a little too late, and then we don't need this. And I do believe our shot is done. I'm going to hit this, and it is 155 that we are rendering. Boom. Alright, and we're going to jump up here. Not to the script, but to the video edit. And let's just see how it feels. Okay. To what do we owe this visit? It's always a pleasure to stand in the presence of the king. Okay, and then that makes Golek scowl for obvious reasons. And so, not too bad. I mean, actually, I guess we're not quite past 15 seconds today, but yeah, not too bad. Okay, that's it. There we go. We're done. Done with the shot. Adios.